our election watch tonight, as ballots are arriving in mailboxes, we're taking a look at one of the races further down your ballot that you might be surprised to see. County Coroner. We're taking a deep dive into why this office is on your ballot in the first place.
Why to elect? Because that's what the Constitution says you're going to do.
Yes, it's been this way since Colorado became a state. Colorado's Constitution says this: a coroner shall be elected in each county for the term of 4 years. And these are the requirements of someone running for the office. Be 18 years old, have a high school diploma or equivalent, and give a set of fingerprints. Coroners also go through a couple of trainings that are about 8 days total. There's nothing in Colorado's Constitution requiring coroners to be board-certified forensic pathologist, which is a process that can take years between med school, additional training, and a residency.
The coroner's office is not a political office, okay? Politics isn't what needs to run that office.
Dr. Robert Buck served as the El Paso County Coroner for more than a dozen years.
You have counties that have maybe a couple thousand people in them, and you have counties that have 750,000.
And because Colorado's population does vary from place to place, he sees the role coroners play differing in each county.
Because of the great disparities in what the needs are, I think that from my standpoint, I think what you've got to do is it has to be, I think it's set up to be right, because you can't get that kind of educational or technical expertise in the smaller counties.
While Bucks was coroner, he was one of about 17 forensic pathologists in the state. A few of those were working with him in the office in El Paso County.
And Colorado was lucky to have 17 because there's a national crisis and shortage of forensic pathologists.
By the time Bucks left the El Paso County Coroner's office, he says there were 4 forensic pathologists with a big caseload.
It grew from doing about 500 or 600 cases a year to I think it was close to 1,200 when I left.
Colorado is one of about 20 states that still elects coroners. There are some exceptions in the state. Denver, Pitkin, and Weld counties are considered home rule counties, and they appoint coroners. And while just about anyone can run, El Paso County has had a forensic pathologist in the office since about the 60s.
The coroner in a large office like this has to lead various sections.
The El Paso County Coroner's Office also has the only toxicology lab within its office in the state. Buck says that makes a huge difference in terms of cost savings and being able to have everything they need for an investigation. But with such a large caseload, Bucks maintains the need to elect a coroner rather than appoint one.
Other individuals you work with on a daily basis are the sheriff and the DA, and guess what? They're also elected. If you don't have somebody that's elected and is appointed, then that person kind of is not on the same notch as, or level as the elected officials, and I think that sometimes that can be a problem.
Something else you might be surprised to learn, the state's constitution also says the coroner technically next in line to be county sheriff.
And Allison, you mentioned some counties do appoint their coroner, so is this something that could change?
Right, it's not likely because again, those are home rule counties, so you'd probably have to see some sort of amended home rule charter. But also another argument of kind of keeping it separate is this idea of a conflict of interest. And if, as Dr. Buck said, then you're kind of on the same playing field as these offices like sheriff and DA that they're interacting with so much. But who knows, sometimes we've seen rumblings at the state legislature that could be something that they look at changing.
It's complicated, but you keep us in line, keeping us informed, Allison, always.
We try. So, by the way, that primary election is June 28th. KOAA wanting to make sure that you are prepared this election year. We've been bringing you everything, even going back to that redistricting process last year, but you'll find all of the information, including where to find trusted information for this election, where to drop off your ballot, everything you need to know on our website, koaa.com.